We give praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yah by way of Yahushua HaMashiach, our Master and King. That's interesting right there. So that means, those who supposed to get it, gonna get it. Those who supposed to do it, gonna do it. Those who ain't, and those who don't, don't. But as you can sit back and see now, we discussing it. This ain't no one type of thing. If people sitting back looking at it. Now, how many people gonna make a move on it and adjust is a whole nother matter. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me, and you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you that ye have not the love of Elohim in you. Go ahead and come over here to Jeremiah 5:22. Now, that's interesting that he say, for the last 3-4 months, brothers been talking about this, and ain't nobody make no move. And usually why don't nobody want to make no move? Because they more than likely ain't confident on what they talking about. Jeremiah 5:20. They usually probably ain't confident in what they talking about, which means they probably don't really know what they talking about. If you done the research on Sunday and you see the word validate what you talking about, God, go ahead and do what you got to do. It says, declare this in the house of Jacob. Publish it in Yehudah, saying, hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and see not, and which have ears and hear not. What you think this mean when he say they got eyes to see but can't see, and ears to hear but can't hear? What y'all think that could mean? Because a reason why I'm mentioning this here, before we even get into what we were discussing, I mentioned this for a reason. Some of y'all seen it, some of y'all didn't see it. But somebody that we know made a post, and they done showed themselves to go full retard. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this here is not because of that individual, but for ourselves individually. That we can't get caught up on just because we see something, that we don't want to do it, or we hear something so we don't want to do it. See, come on back over here just to John chapter 8 real fast. Then get your Exodus chapter 16, about verse 30. John 8:42. John 8:42 and Exodus 16:30. He said, Yahushua said unto them, if Elohim were your father, you would love me. For I proceed forth and came from Elohim, neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech, even because you cannot hear my word? Well, that's the same thing. He said, you got ears, but you can't hear. And we already done started reading in John 5:39, because the love of Elohim is not in you. That's why you can't hear. You know what I'm saying? That means your eyes is wide open. He say, but you can't see. So we had to make sure that our hearts have not been hardened by the deceitfulness of sin, to where we get caught up in that. But see, look at something over here in Exodus 16:30. Don't fall down now, Lizzie. Matter of fact, my apologies. 16 and 25. And Moses said, eat that today, for today is Shabbat unto Yahuwah. Today you shall not find it in the field. 6 days shall you gather it, but on the 7th day, which is the Shabbat, in it there shall be none. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th day for to gather, and they found none. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, how long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? Well, that go right back to what he was talking about, to publish it to the house of Jacob, that foolish people that don't have no understanding, which have eyes to see and can't see, and ears to hear and can't hear, because he plainly told these people that, but yet they didn't do it. And he said, how long will you refuse to do what I tell you to do? You know what I'm saying? See, we have to look at that. Hold to Jeremiah 5, but come over here to Proverbs 15 and 10. What I'm referring to is like what you heard Lil Stanley say. We don't want to get caught up in that where you think, boy, I've been doing something a particular way, or this, that, there, and the other, or you look at other people and be like, I can't believe they don't believe this, and they don't do this. He knew this, and that stupid nigga doing this here, and you turn around and do the same thing. You turn around and end up and showing yourself to be 5 times the nigga that you perceived the person who was acting like a nigga to be. Somebody who was acting like a dummy. Acting like somebody who has spare parts for brains. See, listen to what he tell you here in the 15th chapter of the book of Proverbs in the 10th verse. Correction is grievous unto him that forsake the way, and he that hate reproof shall die. So he say correction is grievous to somebody who forsake the way. See, come back over here to John chapter 8 about verse 12. And just look at what he told these people. Because we already looked at the other night where he said, if you don't believe on the Son of Elohim, you condemned already. He's saying, what is the condemnation? That their deeds are evil, and they won't come to the light lest their deeds should be reproved. See, a lot of times people don't want to come to get that correction because it's grievous to them, because they don't want to walk in the way. They don't want to walk in the sun. Get to the epistle of Jude, and about the 3rd verse, go along with it. I'll read verse 13 in John 8. And it says, the Pharisees therefore said unto him, thou bear record of thyself, thy record is not true. Yahushua answered and said unto them, though I bear record of myself, yet my record is true. For I know whence I came and whither I go, but you cannot tell whence I came and whither I go. Ye judge after the flesh. I judge no man. And yet if I judge, my judgment is true, for I am not alone, but I and the Father that sent me. It is also written in your law, the testimony of 2 men is true. I am one that bear witness of myself, and the Father that sent me bear witness of me. Then said they unto him, where is thy Father? Yahushua answered, you neither know him, know me, nor my Father. If you had known me, you should have known my Father also. Which goes right back to what we were talking about in Jeremiah chapter 5. This foolish people without understanding that have eyes to see and can't see, and ears to hear and can't hear. They sat there and looked at this man. He said, publish it in the house of Yehudah and to the children of Jacob. He's standing there doing it right now, telling these people you can't see. You got ears, but you can't hear me. You don't have no idea, can't understand a single solitary thing that I'm saying to you, because the love of the Most High ain't in you. Look at what he told him now. He said, these words spake Yahushua in the treasury as he taught in the temple. No man laid hands on him, for his hour was not yet come. Then said Yahushua again unto them, I go my way, and you shall seek me, and you shall die in your sins. Whither I go, you cannot come. Then said the Yahudim, will he kill himself, because he saith, whither I go, you cannot come? And he said unto them, ye are from beneath, and I am from above. Ye are of this world, I am not of this world. I said therefore unto you, that you shall die in your sins, for if you believe not that I am he, you shall die in your sins. Now what would be the key thing to stop them from believing in him, for them to die in their sins? What's the key thing that would be stopping them from doing that? Pride is the key thing, because the correction that he was trying to give it was grievous to them. They wanted to do something to the man, and because they hated reproof, they weren't going to get life. This is what he's sitting here telling them. If you don't want to take the correction that I'm coming to bring, if you don't want to walk in the way that I'm coming to walk, you're going to die. Now we know the way that we're supposed to walk in is straight and narrow, and it's the way of Kadesh, the set apart, sanctified way, which is a Mashiach, which is Yahushua, the Son of the Most High Yah. That means that correction got to be able to be, you got to be able to take that, because a Mashiach himself was corrected. He chastened his own son. He spared not his own son from reproof. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't sit back and look at that, he told us in the 12th chapter of the book of Hebrews that the chastening at that present time is not joyous, but grievous. See, sometimes like this here, man, you sit back looking at, man, with all this stuff coming up in our lap. We finding out this new stuff. We just found out about this. Now we finding out about that. It seems like a lot, when really it's not a lot, because all it is just a little bit of adjustment. It's just a little bit of correction. Don't you know you got to really be sad if the man don't? Go to Psalms 94 and 12. You know what you got to really be scared at? When you don't get no correction. You hear what I'm saying? I was telling Brother Will this last night. I say, man, matter of fact, make it about verse 8. Psalms 94 and 8. I was telling Brother Will this last night. I said, let's sit back and let's look at it. Let's be real about it. When you look at most Hebrew Israelite congregations, I know the ones that I've seen in the 6 years I've been out of prison, and that I've been privy to this information and knowing this stuff. I ain't seen these dudes change nothing. Nothing. I see ISUPK is operating in the same fashion that they were operating from the day they were founded. You know what I'm saying? You see GOCC, with the exception of things here and there, same exact things. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what anybody, One West, IOG, whoever it is, they doing the same things. Any of y'all that's privy to these groups, would you agree? So if they doing the same, how could you be doing something for a period of time and there ain't been no change and you ain't corrected nothing? You ain't say, okay, we were doing this way, now we doing it that way. Everything is the same. You ain't changed nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even been preaching or doing this here nowhere as long as some other people, and this things we done changed. So that's telling you something. You know what that is? That's stagnation. That means, how is y'all even with you if you're not even being corrected on what you're doing? Real bad. Psalm 94 and 8. Understand, ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when will ye be wise? Ooh, boy. I'm going to read that again so you can hear him. Understand, ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when will ye be wise? Listen what he tell you. He that planted the ear, shall he not hear? He that formed the eye, shall he not see? Now what y'all think that could mean when he sit back and say, he that formed the eye, shall he not hear? And he that planted the ear, shall he not hear? And he that formed the eye, shall he not see? What does that mean to y'all? Who is he referring to? He referring to the Most High. He the one who planted the ear, so you don't think he hear? He the one that formed the eye, so you don't think he see? See, come on back around here. I asked for the epistle of Jude. Look at verse 3. The epistle of Jude and verse 3. And it says, blessed when I give all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you, that you should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the Kodeshim. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who before of old ordained to this condemnation, who ungodly men turning the grace of our Elohim into lasciviousness, and dying the only YAHUAH Elohim and our master Yahushua HaMashiach. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this, that how that YAHUAH, having saved the people out of the land of Mizraim, afterwards destroyed them that believed not. Now, why was he able to destroy them that believed not? What's the two things that he was able to, that led to these people destruction? He said, have he that planted the ear, shall he not hear? And he that formed the eye, shall he not see? Did he not sit back and hear them people murmuring and complaining? Did he not sit back and tell Moses, go down there to them people, man, they down there partying, worshiping the idol because I see them? You know what I'm saying? We just see, you got to sit around and you got to turn around and sit back and look at something. If this man made the ear that's in your ear, that means he can hear too. And if he made the eyes that you got, that means he can see too. Which is also going when he say, he that have ears to hear, let him hear. Meaning that he hear and obey and follow the same word that he dictate and give unto you. That's why he said, you understand, ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when will you be wise? Well, we know we were fools before Mashiach came, and he came to make us wise unto salvation. As Apostle Paul wrote unto Timothy, he sat back and he wrote him in that epistle letter. You have known the Kadesh scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through the faith which is in Yahushua HaMashiach. Well, what's going to be able to cause us to be able to understand? We were just looking at this the other day. We don't have the mind of the world. We have the mind of a Mashiach. See, that's what I really wanted to talk about this evening. But we got to take a different track instead. So when we turn around and we look at it, the reason why I read that in that epistle letter is mainly because, okay, like I told you, somebody made a post about, basically taking shots down at not only me, but anybody else who he ever heard the word from. You know what I'm saying? And you got people turning in, you got the grace, the undeserved gift and favor that a Mashiach came to bring to us with his death, and they turning that gift into lust. See, you can do this here and you can do this here as long as you love, and you can do this here and you can do this here. So you know what that ends up happening? It causes your ears to be shut. It causes your eyes to be shut. It causes you to be a fool. It causes you not to understand. It causes your heart to be hardened unto correction. And this is the reason why I mention this to y'all, because I don't want that to happen to us. Do you understand what I'm saying? This ain't even about the individual who made the post. It ain't about who they listening to or anybody else. It's about us perceiving if we see other people harden their heart to the word and not being wise and being fools and not being able to hear and not being able to see. We have to make sure we don't go down that road. Do you hear me? Psalm 94 and 10, my apologies. He that chastised the heathen, shall he not correct? He that teach man knowledge, shall he not know? Yahuwah knoweth the thoughts of man, that they are vanity. This is why he got to sit back and look at it. He know our thoughts are worthless. They vanity. Listen to the next thing he say. Blessed is the man whom thou chasten, O Yahuwah, and teach him out of thy law, that thou may give him rest from the days of adversity, until the pit be digged for the wicked. Well, he just sat back and said he know the thoughts of man, they vanity. Blessed is the man who you chasten. Well, let's look at Mark 14 real fast. Then you can get your Romans chapter 8 and about verse 31. Mark 14 and 34. Get Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 5 while we at it. He saith unto them, my soul is exceedingly sorrowful unto death. Tarry ye here and watch. And he went forward a little and fell on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. Don't you realize if this thought coming in there, he say he know the thoughts of man, they are vanity, they worthless. Ain't this thought coming into his mind about this cup passing, ain't it worthless? If he go by this thought that come into his mind, then the plan that he got laid out to be able to redeem mankind back unto himself in the house of YAHUAH, namely first, will not be accomplished. But let's see what Mashiach say though. And he said, Abba, Father, listen to what he said. All things are possible unto thee. Take away this cup from me. Nevertheless, not that I will, but what thou wilt. This is the mind of a Mashiach. This is the mind of a Mashiach. This is the mind that he possessed. This is the mind that we must possess. Do you not realize that that is a spiritual mind and not a carnal one? Do you follow me? This man say, he that chastised the heathen, shall he not correct? Now, when we look at Romans 8 and 31, let's see if he corrected his son. Listen to what he says. What shall we say then to these things? If Elohim be for us, who can be against us? Now, this like this here, just like I was telling that I mentioned that the situation that Mouse got going on. I'm not finna go into no detail about it. But she know what I'm talking about. If the Most High for you, who can be against you? Who can be a threat to you that do well? That means if this woman pulling a stunt, I done told y'all this before, man. Just like this here, like Brittany know, okay, she had to leave her job because her supervisor had a problem with you keeping the feast and all this, that, there, and the other. Ain't nothing good gonna happen to them. Glover sit back and look at it. We look at the dude we used to work for who had a problem with me keeping the feast. Ain't nothing good done went down for him since that happened. You know what I'm saying? The people I used to work for at the ale house, they had a problem. They were messing with me. They round here, man. They stiffed me on money they owed me, and they lost that contract within 2 weeks. So even when they sit back and look like a situation could be going a particular way, if you're doing something and you standing on your word, ain't nothing gonna happen good for the party that did that to you. All you got to do is look at Pharaoh. He withstood the will of Yah too, didn't he? Huh? Did he not withstand the will of Yah? Am I talking to myself? And ain't nothing good happened for him, did it? You know what I'm saying? Destruction. Saul didn't do the will of Yah. Ain't nothing good happened for him either. You know what I'm saying? You got to sit back and look at that. Look at all the people who came against Mashiach. They got this man blood on their hands. Ain't nothing good going to happen for them. He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall how shall he not with him also freely give us all things? So we got to look at it. And the Most High, what he going to give us freely, give us all things that come from the Spirit of Elohim, that we might know and be able to accomplish his perfect and Kadesh will. Romans 12 and 1 before I get to the Hebrew chapter 12. And then we're going to get into the matter at hand. We only at 20 minutes. Y'all all right? Y'all okay? But I had to deal with this part of it first, man. We got to be willing to sit back and look at it, man. Matthew, the 18th chapter, tell us about that. He said, if you're not able to humble yourself as a little child, you shall not inherit the kingdom of Elohim. That means you got to manifest some humility. Hamashiach say he's the meekest man. He say, learn of me, for I am meek and lowly of heart. That means he was able to take correction. That means he wasn't lifted up in his heart. It wasn't no pride in him. You know, he say he learned obedience from the things that he suffered. That means he took chastisement, he took reproof, he took correction, but he took it for us. He said the chastisement of his peace, of our peace was upon him. He told you when he gave you the prophecy pertaining to Solomon, he said, if not, I'll chasten him with the stripes and the rods of men. So if this man was able to take reproof in the just, being given up for the unjust, and the righteous for the unrighteous, and he was willing to take that correction when he had done absolutely nothing wrong himself, you got to be willing to take it no matter when it comes, no matter if it seems like it inconveniences your life, because that's what some of y'all problem is. Y'all make the word as if it's inconveniencing your life. When this man got your life in the palm of his hand. Right there in the palm of his hand. That man could crush you like a bug when he get ready. That man could put his finger to everything you got and make it crumble. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember in all things, man, if you serve Yahuwah, Yahuwah is in control. And all things work out to the good of those who fear him and love him. That's what the book say. It's evidence of that. David loved him. It worked out to his good. Samuel loved him. It worked out to his good. Jeremiah loved him. It worked out to his good. Nehemiah loved him. It worked out to his good. Hamashiach loved the Father. It worked out for his good. Abraham loved the Father. It worked out for his good. No matter what adversary, no matter what adversity, no matter what tribulation, no matter what they went through, at the end of the day, it worked out for their good. Because you know why some of this stuff come up, man? It's to try your faith, man. It's to really see how much you love him. Just like we mentioned, it separate them wheats from the tail. Because everybody ain't going to be willing to hold on. It's some people ain't even heard that even dealing with what we talking about right now, and they couldn't hold on. You know what I'm saying? Teacher was telling me, a girl say, yeah, man, her old man told her he can't listen to you because you too rah-rah. Yeah, I'm zealous about what I'm talking about. I'm passionate about it. I believe in it. I trust in it. This is my life. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? What you mean? You know what I'm saying? This serious to me. This serious to me. And then, you know, and like I was telling Will, and like I was telling Cord, and y'all done heard me say before, man, not only that, man, but I'm responsible for other people. So how much just be sitting back with like this here, well, it don't matter as long as I make it. I don't care if they do. Like some of y'all ain't heard me say this before, because I ain't said it to y'all in a while, but I've said it to others. And I'm going to tell y'all this, I used to say this when I preached in the street all the time. You should want for your brother what you want for yourself. If you want success for yourself, you should want it for your brother. If you want love for yourself, you should want it for your brother. If you want eternal life for yourself, you should want it for your brother. You shouldn't look somebody in the face and not want them to have the same thing you claim you want, because in actuality, that means you hate that person in your heart. You's a low-down, dirty bastard. You know what I'm saying? I want success for myself, so I want every last one of y'all to be successful. Some of y'all might feel like the way you go about it, you could be most successful. I could make a suggestion to you, be like, hey, I don't think that'd be the best track for you to take, but hey, you do what you want to do. Most success to you, though. I wouldn't want nobody to be sit back and not be successful in what they set their hand to do, because I ain't no hater. See, when I say ain't no hater, meaning I don't hate for you to do well. I don't want you not to do well. Most of these dudes who do deal with this word, they haters, meaning they don't want you to be saved. See, hold on, after I read this Matthew chapter 12, we go to Matthew 23 before I get to the Hebrew chapter 12. Romans 12 and 1. That's that rock. I beseech thee, you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Elohim, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, Kadesh, acceptable unto Elohim, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Elohim. I won't do it tonight. It just came to my mind, but I'm going to go into that more in depth, because this goes back to when we were coming up out of Mishraim, about we were not to be conformed to the world and be transformed by the renewing of our mind. Because when we were coming up out of Mishraim, we were supposed to be transformed, knowing the good and perfect will of the Most High, learning how to be set apart. And we got to sit back and look at it now. If we looking at these months and we see that these hook-nosed people around here talking about the New Year's, March, April, and we sit back looking at the land, don't agree with that. And when I say the land, I'm talking about the land as far as it pertaining to the production of crops. And that means we conform to this world. We can't be conformed to it. Do you follow me? We can't be conformed to it. We ain't supposed to have nothing to do with the world. And if that's what they do, let them have it. We just read about that the other day. That man say, he that hear us, hear Elohim. Therefore we discern between the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Everybody ain't gonna hear it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sit back and tell you something, man. I'm gonna be dead on it with you, man. When my brother Trad hit me up, when I called him and he told me that there, I considered the soil, because it's Trad, that's my little home. I know he just ain't gonna say nothing out the blue. I got love for the young man. So I'm gonna consider the source. Then when he tell me who the source is, I'm going to consider the source. I know that man just ain't finna jump out and say something. You know what I'm saying? So that means I'm going to look into it and I'm going to see what it is. When I see what it is, I see I can roll with it. Then I talk to my brother who till the land, who I trust when it comes to that type of stuff, period. And he say, boy, it add up with what I'm doing. That's good enough for me right there. On top of what I already looked at. That's good enough for me right there. See, sometimes y'all sit back and look at, y'all don't consider who telling you something because you think you smart. Nigga can't tell me nothing. I know what I'm talking about. I mean, you proud. And the book tell you pride come before destruction. We got to consider that. We got to consider that anything, these people dressing all black, looking like they about to go to a funeral. Wearing top hats, looking crazy. They look like they symbolize death. And we going to be doing what they do? I don't think so. I don't think so. Y'all follow me. Matthew chapter 23. and 13. Make it 23 and 12. And it says, whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that humble himself shall be exalted. You seen that with Aaron and Miriam. Don't the Most High speak by us? She exalted herself. She got abased when she got put outside that camp with leprosy 7 days. You see it said that Moses was the meekest man upon the face of the earth. You seen he was exalted by the Most High because of his humility. Even the thing that he did that caused him not to enter into the land, it wasn't because he didn't want to humble himself to Yah, it's because the people made him so angry. But just like we looking at, how long are we going to refuse to do what the man say? How are we going to have ears to hear and not hear and eyes to see and not see? How long are we going to keep doing that? That's what happens when you don't want to take correction, when you just feel like, shoot, boy, I've been doing it like this. I was telling T earlier. I say, just sit back and look at it. Like today, October the 21st, 2015. I told her, I say, go back 2 years ago. You didn't know nothing about what y'all wanted you to do. And in 2 years later, this man is gradually bringing you along in his way, in the way of perfection. It's things that's going to come up. It's changes that's going to have to be made. It's adjustments that's going to have to be made. Just some of y'all sit back and look at, is your mind and what you doing, is it the same as what it was 2 years ago? Have you made any changes in 2 years? I know I have. What about you, sir?
I do believe.
Any of y'all still thinking the same and doing the same that you were doing 2 years ago? If you are, you dead. I mean, you ain't got to mention what it is specifically. Just it just ain't got to be with smoking. It could be certain things you were doing in your service to y'all. It could be certain ways you were thinking. Just period. If you're doing the same thing you were doing 2 years ago, that means you're dead. That means you're not constantly growing. That means you're not constantly maturing. You're in a stagnated state. You are in arrested development.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like for all intents and purposes, like the young men that Corey teach in his class, those young men have arrested development. Their development was halted at a particular stage and they could no longer progress past that point. You know what I'm saying? Well, we got to sit back and look at, if we allow pride to creep into our hearts, if we allow ourselves not to be humble, then we can be in arrested development and stay at that particular point. Or we can be like going full retard. Or we could be going full retard. That's the three options that we have, brothers and sisters. That's the three options that we have. We can continue to grow and to mature in the word and take the chastisement and correction and rebuke that comes along with eternal salvation. We can have arrested development and stay in the same exact place that we in, or we can go full retard and go backwards. How many of y'all trying to go full retard? I didn't think so. How many of y'all trying to have arrested development? I didn't think so. How many of y'all trying to grow and mature to become spiritual beings and receive this man's spirit? Well, praise y'all for Yahushua then. So you know what's got to come with that? You got to be able to take the correction. You got to be able to take the chastisement. Just like we talked about last week, you got to have the righteousness of the law and the righteousness of faith. And you need to string together consistent behavior of not committing sin. Y'all have to get your mind right. Because y'all be thinking about, y'all, because I know some of y'all minds are privy to dibbling and dabbling in a lot of things. Is full retard in the word? Yeah. When he called you brutish, when he say understand ye brutish, you know what I'm saying? How long you fools gonna be simple? You fool retard. You know what I'm saying? Because brutish just means you're stupid. You know what I'm talking about? When somebody don't win full retard, you stupid, as far as I'm concerned. Just like Buddy told him in the movie. He say Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man, retarded, but he didn't go full retard. Because he was gambling, he was doing this here. Forrest Gump, retarded, but he didn't go full retard. You know what I'm talking about? He met the president. That's heavy stuff. He say, you went full retard. Never go full retard. The reason why you don't never go full retard, ain't no coming back from full retard. Being stupid for a little season, you might could come back. But when you go full retard, boy, it's over with for you. Full retard, for all intents and purposes, is going reprobate. Boy, you worthless. What can I do with you? That's why he say he know the thoughts of man are vanity, because our thoughts are full retard. For real, though. Our thoughts are full retard, because they ain't about nothing. Now, you know, I know some people say don't call them full retard, call them mentally handicapped. Well, you know, people who are mentally handicapped don't have the wherewithal to think as other people think. You know what I'm saying? Their minds don't move as other people's minds move. They are actually impressed and engaged by some of the most simplest. I'm talking about some of the simplest things you can come up with. But also at the same time, somebody who full retard or mentally handicapped can be some of the sharpest, smartest people you ever come across. But yet they can't function in a normal setting. Just whatever they smart in, that's what they got. And that's what you got with a lot of people with the word. They full retards. When they come to some stuff, they real smart. When they come to their word, they extra stupid. They extra stupid. And this ain't got nothing to do talking about teaching. This is talking about your service, your faith, your belief, your obedience, your adherence to the man's word, your adherence to his way. 23 and 13, the book of Matthew. He say, but woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you shut up the kingdom of Shamahim against men, for you're neither to go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. So you know what it sound like with them scribes and Pharisees, why you go get the Hebrew 12 and 5? You know what the scribes and Pharisees sound like? What they sound like to y'all? That too. But what I was referring to is they wanted for themselves just what they wanted for their brother, just what they wanted for themselves. I want to go to hell, so I want you to go too. He just sat back and said they ain't trying to get in, and they trying to stop those who trying to get in from getting in. Boy, I ain't trying to stop nobody from getting in that way you want, because I'm trying to get there. That's where I want to be. So that means I want the same thing for y'all. It got no pleasure. Hold what you got, Ezekiel chapter 18 and 30. Before we read Ezekiel, Hebrews 12:5. Ezekiel 18 and 32. Let's make it 32. For I have no pleasure in the death of him that dieth, saith Yahuwah Elohim. Wherefore turn yourselves and live ye. That means this man ain't got no desire to see you go to hell. So why would I have one? If I say, boy, I serve y'all, man, I preach his word, and this man just sat back and say, I ain't got no desire. Read it. Come over here, Ezekiel 33 and 10. I ain't got no desire for you to go to hell. Then why would I have one? He said, turn ye unto me and be ye saved, all ye ends of the earth. Ain't that what he said? Come on, Stanks. Therefore, O son of man, speak unto the house of Yasharal. Thus ye speak, saying, if our transgressions and our sins be upon us, and we pine away at them, how shall we then live? Say unto them, as I live, saith Yahuwah Elohim, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his way and live. Turn ye from your evil ways, for why will you die, O house of Yasharal? Why would you die? Why wouldn't you just turn? So we just sit back and look at, so we evil because we kept the feast of money head? No, you ain't got to sit back and look at it because you didn't know. But thanks be to God, he had mercy to let you know. But when he let you know, are you going to turn? Or are you going to be stubborn and idolatrous? Are you going to be a witch because you rebellious? Is your Elohim going to be your own belly? Because that's who you serve. Because your lust and your desires and the things of this world are more important to you than serving Yahuwah. Same way them people jumped up there, they're looking for that manna, because they God was their belly. I know he told me to stay out here, there wasn't going to be none in here, but I'm finna go out there and look for that. That's why he said, how long will you refuse to keep my commandments and my law? How long you going to refuse to do what I tell you to do? If I show you to do something, how long, why you ain't going to do it? If I tell you to do something, why you ain't going to do it? We still holding the 5th chapter of Jeremiah. We're going to look at that as soon as we read the Hebrew 12 and 5. And you have forgotten the exhortation which speak unto you as children. My son, despise not the chastening of Yahuwah, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom Yahuwah love, he chasten and scourge every son whom he received. If you endure chastening, Elohim deal with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the father chasten not? So you have to sit back and look at it. Man, it's just like this here. If any of y'all got kids, you sit back and you can see your kids doing something wrong. You looking at them, you watching them, you see them. You know what I'm saying? You see that they doing wrong. You don't say nothing to them. And then till you don't realize that when I come to you to tell you what you were doing wrong, you'll fully understand it when I tell it to you. Any of y'all people ever did y'all like that? I know my mama done did me like that a time or two. Just sat back and watched me. Like to see, I'm going to realize, see if he figured out he going wrong. You know what I'm saying? So then they come and let you know, like, son, you know you were going wrong. This is what you need to do to correct that. If you proud, you're going to be like, man, I don't care what mama say. I'm going to keep doing it how I was doing it. If we could look at it and see that in the natural sense, we got to be able to see it spiritually too, because there is no difference. Back to Jeremiah 5. We stopped in about verse 21. I will read it again. Jeremiah 5 and 21. Hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and see not, and which have ears and hear not. Fear ye not me, saith Yahuwah. Will you not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by perpetual decree that it cannot pass it? And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet they cannot prevail. Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it. What do you think that means when you hear that? What do you take from that when you hear that? From that statement that he made in verse 22. What do you take from that? Don't nobody take nothing from what he's trying to express to you? He wasn't telling you to fear the sea. He said, you don't fear me. He telling you to fear him, but look at what he said about the sand though. He say the sand, I place the sand for the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree that it cannot pass. You know what he telling you? I tell the sand what to do and it do it. You know what I'm saying? Listen what else he say. And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet they cannot prevail. Though they roar, yet they cannot pass over. So he say, no matter how much this sea come over here, I told this sand, you bet not move. And guess what that sand ain't gonna do? It ain't gonna move. Now you see what he's trying to tell you. Now look what he say right after that. But this people have a revolting and rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone. So he's sitting here telling us the sand fear me and obey me more than my own people do. The sand will take heed to what I say do more than my own people will. That's something right there, ain't it? That's something right there. That's what he was telling you. He said, you don't fear me? I tell the sand not to move. Sand don't move. The waves is punching it all in his face. He roaring. He yelling at it. You better move. You better move. And the sand say, though you roar at me and though you do this, I fear Yahuwah way more than I fear you. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. He told me not to move. Don't you realize a perpetual decree is a perpetual proclamation? A perpetual law, a perpetual ruling, you bet not move. Sound like to me we need to be like the sand then, don't it? He said, neither say they in their heart, let us now fear Yahuwah Elohim, that give rain, both the former and the latter. Listen what he say, in his season. He reserved unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest. Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have withholden good things from you. A lot of y'all wonder why you ain't got some of the stuff you wanted to get it, because your sins keep the man from getting it to you. But look at what the thing that he just said. He said that he appoint the harvest in his seasons, right? Say he give the rain in his season. The early and the latter. So when he say get a rain in this season, when these rains gonna come then? When these rains gonna come? So when they season gonna be? When they season gonna be? If it's the early and the latter rain, what seasons? That's how it happens. What seasons do the early and the latter rain come in? Huh? Is they coming in? How many seasons we got, gentlemen? We got 2, summer and winter. So when the early rain gonna come? So when the latter rain gonna come? Winter. And we know that latter rain gonna come to be able to prepare what? To prepare the offering that you would have for first fruit, right? When I'm talking about first fruit, I'm talking about that wave offering. That wave offering after the first Shabbat during unleavened bread. Would that be correct, gentlemen? So if the early rain come in and the latter rain got to come in the summer, and then the 7th month is the winter. That means if it's raining in tabernacles, that means it wasn't winter then, it was still summer. It was still summer. He said he appointed the early and latter rain in their season. There's only 2 seasons, which means these rains got to come in a particular seasons. If it's raining during tabernacles and that's winter, that means the rain didn't come in their seasons. It came in the same season, which is wintertime. Which is wintertime. The 7th month is the beginning of winter. That latter rain gonna be coming wintertime. Then turn around and come, the early rain come wintertime too. So when the summer rain comes. Amos 4:7. Get on around though. Actually, I want verse 4. Amos 4:4. Come to Bethel and transgress at Gilgal. Multiply transgressions and bring your sacrifices every morning and your tithes after 3 years. Offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving with leaven and proclaim and publish the free offerings, for this like you, O children of YAHUAH, saith YAHUAH Elohim. And I also have given you cleanness of teeth in all your cities, and want of bread in all your places. Yet you have not returned unto me, saith Yahuwah. And also I have withholden the rain from you, that when there were yet 3 months to the harvest, and I caused it to rain upon one city, and I caused it not to rain upon another city, one piece was rained upon, and the piece whereupon it rained not withered. So 2 or 3 cities wandered one city to drink water, but they were not yet satisfied. Yet you have not returned unto me, saith Yahuwah. Now what do you sit back and say, I have withholden rain from you when there were yet 3 months to the harvest? That means if he withheld rain from you 3 months to the harvest, what month would that be? Huh? That would be the 4th month. He said, I kept it back for 3 months from you. But look at the key thing of what we're looking at. What did he say he caused the rain to do? But he said look what he said now. I caused it to rain upon one, and I didn't cause it to rain on the other. Now, some of y'all was on the phone. Remember last night, Troy, when I asked the brother we was on the phone with, I said, did it rain up y'all way? What he said? He said, no. I say, boy, during tabernacles, it poured down raining around here. I say, the brothers above us say it poured down raining there. He say, one place I caused it to rain upon one city, and one piece it was rained upon, and the piece where it rained it didn't wither, and you still didn't come back to me. So guess what he's sitting back looking at? I'm looking at the situation we dealing with. We got us and 2 congregations that I know of. It rained on both of us and didn't rain on the other. So don't you realize he was saying he caused it to rain on one and not the other that they might consider, but yet even when they consider, they didn't come back? Are we not looking at that same situation right now? When he say he give the rain in its season, we know from the law in the 8th chapter of the book of Genesis in the 22nd verse, he said seed time, harvest time, summertime, wintertime. Now we got Corey out here planting crops. He done laid down this seed, and he said, I got to pull the water hose out because Yah has not opened up the Shamahim for us. Because he was trying to show us something. He said, I'm withholding good things from you. It's your sins done held you back. Even though we didn't even know it was wrong, it's your sin holding you back. That's why I can't get to you. Not till you return. You know what I'm saying? Not till you return. When you return, see, come over here to Malachi chapter 3. Malachi 3 and 10. He say, bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house. And prove me now herewith, saith Yahuwah of hosts, if I will not open up you the windows of Shamahim, and pour out a blessing, that there shall not be enough room to receive it. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruit of your ground, neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith Yahuwah of hosts. Now this going back to what the brother was mentioning with first fruits. We coming back. Come over here to Micah chapter 7. We got to spend a lot of time in the prophets about this one here, y'all. To make this make sense. Got to spend some time in the Torah and the Tanakh about this one here. Micah 7:1. And it can be certain situations, Brother Jerome, that the rain representing his spirit. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna sit back, but we know before he can even get you Proverbs 1 and 22, but we know before we can even get his spirit, we got to be corrected to come back and return to be able to get it in the first place. Right now, we ain't even trying to even look at it in a spiritual aspect, but just look at it literally. Because the first thing that I want y'all to sit back and look at and be able to know and understand is that he said clearly in the book of Jeremiah, in that 5th chapter, about that 24th verse, that he give that early and latter rain in his season. We know if there's 2 harvest times that you got to prepare something, you got to have that wave offering for that harvest to be able to have that first fruit for that wave offering after that first Shabbat of unleavened bread. And then that early, latter rain for that. And then the early rain for that. That means one got to be in the summer and one got to be in the winter. You know what I'm saying? So that means that rain that we experienced during Tabernacle, that was in the summer. That was a summer rain. It don't make sense for us to be, it can't be 2 winter rains or 2 summer rains. It's got to be one for each in its season. That's what was letting us know we were early. Just like Brother Corey say, sitting back looking at, hey man.
Man, what you saying? You make it seem like it only rained 2 times. So
No, what he talking about is early.
That's what you're saying.
No, what he's saying when he say early and latter rain is he gives certain rains for a specific purpose. You know what I'm saying? It can rain every day of the week if he wanted to. But when he talking about I give the early and latter rain in his season, that means he referring specifically to these 2 instances. Both of these instances pertaining to the production of the watering of the crops that had to be produced to come up at a particular time. You know what I'm saying? When you look at, we know Hamashiach is the first fruit or that barley offering or that grain offering that's waved after that first Shabbat, after unleavened bread. During unleavened bread, I should say. There's an early rain that's given in that wintertime to get that crop ready to be able to be waved when unleavened bread come in. Because when unleavened bread come in, it is now summertime. It's no longer winter. If that rain come during the month which make it New Year's, then you got 2 summer rains or 2 early rain. It's not going to be an early and latter rain because one, the early rain got to be in the winter and the latter rain got to be in the summer. Because at the end of the year, which is referring to the 15th day of the 7th month, which is Feast of Ingathering or Tabernacles, that's when you gather in your harvest that you had been planting during the summer. And he gives you a latter rain at the end of the year to prepare your crops to be prepared for that winter time that you can go get. It's not that it just only rains twice a year, it's just pertaining to agriculture. That's why he said, I get the early and latter rain in his season and then the appointed weeks of harvest. Because that's how it went in the land when it came to this, because we were ready for this like clockwork. That's why he said in the 5th chapter of James that Hamashiach, the husbandman, labor for the precious fruit of the field, and with long presence he wait for it till he receive the early and latter rain. Because see, that early rain is those who believed on him in the summer when he came, referring to those who will receive the Spirit and things of that nature. The latter rain is those who were planted in the end, so he could get them all. You know what I'm talking about? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I'm just letting you know that that's what you was making it sound like.
Oh, no. It don't rain just twice a year, but that's why I kept really focusing on what he said in Jeremiah 5.
I mean, now you clarify.
Yeah, the early, hey, you all right? The early and latter rain in its season. You know what I'm saying? So we know when these 2 things, they know they got to come in their season as it pertains to production of the crops. Do you understand what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying? If you don't, please go on, speak up now. Don't be sitting there and be like, I don't really get it, but I ain't gonna say nothing. Continuing on then. Micah 7:1. Woe is me, for I am as when they have gathered the summer fruits, as the great gleanings of the vintage. There is no cluster to eat. My soul desire the first ripe fruit. So when would you get the first ripe fruit, gentlemen? When would you get it? Leviticus 23. Leviticus 23 and 10. Well, make it 23 and 15, my apologies. Not going to read all of that. (23 and 15). Indeed, my rain gives the soil the right to receive the seed. Hold on, y'all. 23 and 15. And it says, and you shall count unto you from the morrow after the Shabbat, and 7 days that you brought the sheave of the wave offering. 7 Shabbat shall you complete. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Shabbat shall you number 50 days, and you shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahuwah. You shall bring out of your habitations 2 weighed loaves of 2 tenth deals, and they shall be fine flour, and they shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruits unto Yahuwah. And ye shall offer with bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, 1 young bullock, 2 rams. They shall be for a burnt offering unto Yahuwah, with the meat offering and the drink offerings, even the offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahuwah. Look at verse 22 as well. Look what he tells you. He said, and when you reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of the field when thou reap, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am Yahuwah, your Elohim. So if they around here gleaning, what month is Pentecost in, gentlemen? Y'all know what month Pentecost is in? It'll be in the 3rd month. It'll be in, remember, Passover ends basically on the 21st day of that month. And you talking about 50 days later, that's going to take you into the 3rd month. Which is, we know if it's in the 3rd month, what season we in? Full summer. And if we in full summer, then we know this harvest that they gleaming is these summer fruits, which he say he longed for. So we just looking at some things, we considering some things. Come over here to John chapter 4, verse 35. I want to say 33. Woo-hoo. Four and 33. He said, therefore said to the disciples one to another, have any man brought him aught to eat? Yahushua saith unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me, and to finish his work. Say ye not that there are yet 4 months, then come harvest? Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest. Now I'm going to lean to the brothers who did this here. What do you think? What that mean, Corey, when he say the fields are white already to harvest? That mean it's ready. Y'all know what Jacob said when he got Rachel? When he completed in 14 years, you know what he said to Laban? He said, man, give me my wife, man. That's what he told him in Genesis 29. He said, man, they made a feast. He said, man, let me get my wife, man. She ready. Don't Revelation chapter 19 talk about how the bride have made herself ready? Don't Revelation 19 tell you that? Jacob said, my days are fulfilled. Let me get my wife. My time complete. Let me get my wife. Well, we turn around, we looking at him, my shop. He's saying, man, look here, man. My time over with. Say, you go ahead and look to the field. You say it's 4 months to the harvest, right? If they saying it's 4 months to the harvest, which harvest you think he referring to? See, I'm going to read. He said, listen what he said in verse 36. He that reap receive wages and gather fruit unto life eternal, that both he that sow and that he that reap may rejoice together. And herein is that saying true, one sow and another reap. I sent you to reap wherein you bestowed no labor. Other men labored, and you entered into their labors. You know, this also going in and showing us about that when we came into the land. When we actually came in and possessed it, we came in there, these people, fruits were budding. We came in right in there and harvested their crops right off the rip, didn't we? Came in and reaped upon somebody else's labors. We didn't do none of that stuff for none of that stuff. But then if he say if it's yet 4 months to the harvest, so we don't turn around and look at it. It can either be the 3rd month, referring from Pentecost to the harvest at the end of the year, or we gonna be looking at it as what would that be? About the 10th month or the 11th month? He say it's 4 months to the harvest, and the field is already white. He said they white already. He said, lift up your eyes and look on the fields. They're white already to harvest. That means they ready. We got to turn around and look at it. When it came time, when what we perceive to be his tabernacle is pouring down raining. That means, man, that stuff wasn't ready. We got to turn around and look at when the Mashiach come back. He coming back during tabernacles from according to what we can ascertain from the scripture. We got to be ready when he get here. We got to be ready when he get here. You can't be looking to be watered and rained and all that there before he get when he get here. Why would he be causing it to rain at his return? That makes sense to any of y'all. You got to already have it. You got to be ready. You got to be ready to rock. You got to be ready to roll. You know what I'm saying? When we turn around and look at it, man, this all y'all getting us ready for, man. He trying to get us ready. And if that means we got to be separated from whatever, and Jerome know what I'm talking about, because the brothers up there say that all the time. We got to be set apart from the set apart. And that's how it's got to be. We are set apart people just because the name of Yasharal is on us. But even then, we got to be sanctified from them. Because not all Yasharal is a Yasharal. Because not the children of the flesh, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody not the child of the promise, therefore they can't hear. That's why he said they have ears to hear. Say, understand ye foolish, with ears but cannot hear, and eyes but cannot see. You can see the stuff right before your face. You can hear the word, but yet you're not going to listen to it. You're not going to take heed to it because you're going to feel like, man, we did that already. Why we got to do it again? Now we got to change the calendar and move stuff back and change all this, man. So what? Do you realize how serious that is, man? Luke chapter 12. Let me tell y'all something, man. If we know Hamashiach is supposed to come back during the Feast of Tabernacles to correlate with end gathering, and we keeping it at the wrong month, don't you know that means we gonna miss it? Do y'all realize that? 12 and 37, 36. Luke 12 and 36. And ye yourselves like unto men that wait for their master, when he will return from the wedding, that when he come and knock, they may open unto him immediately. Blessed are those servants whom the master, when he comes, shall find watching. Truly I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them. And if he shall come in the second watch, or come in the third watch, and find them so, blessed are those servants. And this know, that if the goodman of the house had known the hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not suffered his house to be broken through. Be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man come at an hour when you think not. Now what are those three watches, gentlemen? What are those three watches, gentlemen? It's three times you told to come up to Jerusalem. What's them 3 times you said it was mandatory for you to? So you know that man already came on the first watch and in the second. He said, but if I come on the third, blessed are those that are watching. So that means if that man coming back in tabernacles and we a month ahead. So we looking at it as we think this the 6th month, the 7th month, but it's really the 6th. That means when we seeing certain signs and we like, okay, his return is imminent. His return is imminent. And you sat there and you watched for that in the wrong month and he didn't come. Guess what's going to happen? You might turn away from your faith then, wouldn't you? Because what he told me to look after to watch for, I seen it. I looked up and watched, ain't nothing happened. And then the next month, 30 days later, it happened. You looked like a fool because you wasn't ready because you thought it was over. Because you thought it was over. Do you see how it's important? That's why I say it's ironic. Brother Sean say that brother's been talking about this for 3-4 months. And now all of a sudden it's coming up. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm sitting here looking at it. Proverbs 26 and 1. This is what I'm going to sit back and tell you, man. I ain't even hear everything the man said. But when I heard this here, this was enough for me. I'll show you another thing that he made mention of to go along with this. But this was enough for me. This Proverbs 26 and 1, I ain't tell you no lie. This is all I needed to hear. Because I went to thinking about what literally happened for us when we were keeping tabernacles. As snow in summer and as rain in harvest, so honor is not seemly for a fool. So what do you brothers take from that? What you take from that, what? As snow in summer and as rain in harvest, so honor is not seemly to a fool.
Seems like stuff that don't happen.
Don't it? Seem like these two things don't match. One of these things are not the same. One of these things do not belong. That's what that sounds like to y'all. You know it don't snow in the summertime. Guess what we turn around and see when we calling this so-called summer, March, April in the world? It's still snowing in some places. We talking about this summertime, it's snowing. When the word say as snow in the summer, so we know it ain't snowing. Then we turn around, we look at, okay, Tabernacles is a harvest feast. We supposed to be celebrating the harvest. It's pouring down raining. But the key thing you got to look at, he say honor is not seemly or good for a fool. So if honor and respect is not good for a fool. See, hold on. See, I'm going to show you. John chapter 12, verse 23. Hold on. He say honor ain't seemly for a fool, right? Because we know that don't make no sense for no summer. You think honor would go to a fool? You think it should rain in harvest? You think it should snow in the summertime? So when we turn around and look at it, then this will make a lot of sense what we finna read in Mashiach say then. In John 12 and 23, I'm gonna go ahead and just make it 25, get on to it. He say, he that love his life shall lose it, and he that hate his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. If any man serve me, let him follow me, and where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. Oh boy, if you serving my shot, you can't be no fool then, could you? So then we know if honor ain't seemly for a fool, and anybody who serve a Mashiach can't be no fool, then we know full well what we thought was tabernacle wasn't tabernacles then, wouldn't you say? Is this what the word say, or is this what I say? We've got to look, we just going with what the word say. I'm going to show you the other thing that the brother mentioned, man. In Genesis chapter 8 and verse 1. Elohim remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And Elohim made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. And the fountains also of the deep and the windows of Shamahim were stopped, and the rain from Shamahim was restrained, and the waters returned from off the earth continually. And at the end of 150 days, the waters were abated, and the ark rested in the 7th month on the 17th day of the month upon Mount Ararat. Now he's sitting back and look at it. He say that he shut the Shamahim up, and the 17th day would be 2 days after what? It'll be 2 days after Tabernacle started. Tabernacle starts on the 15th day of the 7th month. And don't you sit back and you realize that's the harvest time? Don't you realize that them men in the ark was basically the harvest that he gathered into his storehouse, and there might be meat in his house? And now he done rebuked the devourer for their sake that they might bring forth fruit. Because after they came out that ark, he told them to go bear fruit and be fruitful and multiply. Remember, he say, bring meat into my storehouse. He say, bring the tithes that it might be meat into my storehouse. You turn around and you look at them 8 people that's on that ship, that's on that ark. For all intents and purposes, that ark was a storehouse, was it not? And he told them, bring them on in here for a refuge. Bring them on in here. And then guess what? When that 7th month rolled around, he done rebuked the rain. He done rebuked the waters coming back, that it wouldn't devour them. What y'all think about that, gentlemen? What y'all think about that? No, we got to weigh it out. Look at it. Let's look at 1 Samuel chapter 12. Now I'm asking my brothers in agriculture here, Will and Corey, and I let them hear it, then I repeat it for the people sitting there. When is the barley harvest, Corey and Will? And when is the wheat harvest, Corey and Will? At the end of the year. 12 and 14 of 1 Samuel chapter 12. So remember, the barley at the beginning of the year, the wheat at the end of the year. I didn't want y'all to hear what Samuel finna say. If you will fear Yahuwah and serve him and obey his voice and rebel not against the commandment of Yahuwah, then shall both ye and the king that reign over you continue following Yahuwah your Elohim. But if you will not obey the voice of Yahuwah, but rebel against the commandment of Yahuwah, then shall the hand of Yahuwah be against you as it was against your fathers. Listen to what he about to do. Now therefore stand and see this great thing which Yahuwah will do before your eyes. Is it not wheat harvest today? If it's wheat harvest, what time of the year is it, gentlemen? So it's in the 7th month, mean it's winter time, right? I mean it's winter time, right? Let's see what he say, what he finna ask him to do. I will call unto Yahuwah, and he shall send thunder and rain, that you may perceive and see that your wickedness is great, which you have done in the sight of Yahuwah, in asking you a king. So Samuel called unto Yahuwah, and Yahuwah sent thunder and rain that day, and the people greatly feared Yahuwah and Samuel. Why would the people greatly fear them? Not just because he asked for the rain, but you notice he specifically told him, is it not wheat harvest today? Then he specifically asked him that. Now, why you think he would turn around and ask them that? Yeah, it usually don't. They know it don't rain during that harvest time. They know he make it clean for them to go in there and get it. Like I was talking to Corey, he said, I done harvested crops in the rain. It sucked. That's not a venture you would look forward to doing now, would you? That's going to make you got to remember, Yahuwah say his commandments are not grievous. So if we got to go out here and do this, you think he'd make it hard on us? The only way he would make it hard on us is because we being stupid. Oh, just something to sit back and think about it. That he specifically said ask for rain during harvest time. That means them people wasn't looking for no rain because this wasn't standard operating procedure, not during this time. You know what I'm saying? And we turn around looking at, even though we were unbeknownst to it, we thinking it's harvest time, it's pouring down raining. That's so we could perceive that our wickedness was great and that we were asking for a king. But that king that we were asking for was our own heart and our own way and our own will. Philippians 3 and 17. Not just sitting back saying that because you saying, oh boy, tabernacles was this month. But we talking about period. Our wickedness was great. That's why he said, I caused it to rain on one city and not on another, that you might return, but you didn't do it. But you didn't do it. Listen what he say, brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk so as you have for us an ensample. For many walk, of whom I've told you often, and now tell you weeping, that they are enemies of the affliction of a Mashiach, whose end is destruction, whose Elohim is their belly, whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things. For our behavior is in Shamahim, from whence also we look for the Savior, the Master Yahushua HaMashiach, who shall change our vile body, that it might be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. We got to sit back and look at, we can't let our own belly, our own desires be our king and rule over us, because a king rules over people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember in the past, you remember this when we looked at talking about how you got idols in your heart. In Ezekiel 14. Y'all remember when we talked about that? Remember how we talked about that man say don't have any God before me? And how we sat back and we looked at that there's many things that we could have in our heart that could be our God. It could be your children. It could be your wife. It could be your job. It could be whatever. You know what I'm saying? It could be attention. It could be your clothes. It could be your car. Anything that you putting on, anything that you would cause, like when the Mashiach say that a lot of ignorant fools, basically for all intents and purposes, just nigga-minded individuals. Oh, he told you got to hate your mom and your father. No, he said you got to hate your own life also too, meaning don't put nothing before me. Anything that would cause you to commit sin, to go against Yah, you done made that your God because that's who you serve. We done talked about this here numerous times in many different ways about that Romans 6 and 16. Whoever you lend your member servants to obey is whom you obey, whether obedience unto life or sin unto death. Because you know if you lean into sin, you serving your own lust, meaning you your own God, or Satan your God one, because he that commits sin is of the devil. Ye of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. You know Satan had no desire to obey. You know Satan had no desire to follow. You know Satan had no desire to correct himself. But he that is born of Elohim do not commit sin. His seed remain in him. He cannot sin because he's born Elohim. This is somebody who got the mind of, my behavior is in the Shamahim, or in the things that are eternal. My mind is with the Most High Yah. My mind is with the Most High Yah and his son Yahushua. That's what my mind is. This is what I'm sitting here telling y'all when we were looking at the correction thing, and I'm telling you, even about, okay, the brothers that Troy and Corey and Will and Stanley know, who were like, yeah, man, we were telling him he had the feast wrong. He wouldn't correct himself. And now y'all done put you on the spot. Now I'm showing you had him wrong. Will you correct yourself? Okay, we sitting here looking at the brothers saying, why y'all keeping these feasts and Shabbats, all these confusion, you know what I'm saying? Who told you to do it? And you sit back looking at, he listening to this nigga with the flannel hoodie, sleeveless hoodie. He listening to this nigga. This nigga stupid. This nigga retarded. How this nigga hear the word and go to that? But you gonna sit here and hear the word and say, man, I don't care what that nigga say, man. Shoot, boy. I don't care nothing about that. I ain't correcting nothing. Yeah, I heard what he said, but still. How I say you don't fear me when I tell the sand not to move when the waves roar at it, but yet it stays still. You know what I'm saying? We got to look at that because we don't want to turn around and be that very thing to where our behavior and our minds are not in the Shamahim, but our behavior and our mind is on the things that's on this earth. We know we own this earth. We know we human. We know certain stuff. Just like they said when Stanley and Troy told me that, yeah, it came into my mind like, why would he have it rain on us? You may not murmur and complain about it, but as a human being, you lying to yourself if that thought don't come in your mind because you human. You know what I'm saying? If you sitting in that tent and water getting in your tent and you like this here, you think you in a slip and slide, but you supposed to be in there laying down sleep. You'll be lying to yourself if you be like, boy, why would y'all make it rain on us? Well, we got to be out here in this tent. Why would he do that? You know what I'm saying? You think that's a reasonable thought?
No, I'm going to hell for that thought.
Hard as country. That's a reasonable thought. Because you are still flesh and blood. You still are a human being. But I say this here. I praise Yah for Yahushua and thank him for mercy. For Yahuwah is good and his mercy endure forever because he allowed us to know. Like I'm saying, I'm just looking at the scenario, how it went down. I usually don't even call bruh that time of day because I know he preached that night. And it just came into my mind, calling. And then he tell me that immediately. And now Brother Sean telling me it was on his tongue to say something, but he held his peace because it wasn't time. And he say, brother's been talking about it 3-4 months. That means Yahuwah been stirring up certain men's spirit in certain places in this earth for this very thing and for the very moment to preach and speak on this very matter. Which means thank y'all for Yahushua because that's mercy because he's trying to get us on this right page so we can be saved. You know what I'm saying? All the other stuff don't matter. It don't matter if we thought March, April was the new year and September, October was the 7th month and he's showing us it ain't. I suffered you to do that for a while. I no longer suffer thee to do that. I allowed you to do that for a season. Now it's time to cease and get it right. Because this how it ought to be done. Because if he would have showed, remember now, and the brother had just mentioned this, and you know I just said this to y'all not too long ago. Didn't I just say something to you about, man, if he put too much stuff in your lap, it'll make you quit? I know Brittany was honored enough to say, yeah, if too much stuff would have came in my lap, I would have quit. Because you can't handle all that stuff at one time. You flesh and blood. He say he knoweth our frame, we are but dust. Sometimes y'all forget that in your mind. This man know that you are dust. You are sand. You are dirt. This is what you emanate from. This is what you come from. You are a fleshly being. If I put too much of this stuff in your lap, you're not going to be able to contain and take it. You're going to buckle and fold under the pressure. We just read Psalm 94. The man say, I know that man, his thoughts are vanity. They worthless. So I got to gradually bring you along. You do that with kids. That's why I be telling y'all with your kid, man, you just can't throw a whole bunch of stuff in the kid lap, then get upset with them when they don't do it. You got to gradually bring them along. When I see you can handle this level of responsibility, then I can give you some more. And when I see you can handle this, then I can give you some more. That's how the man operates. That's how on a natural sense, that's how you raise a child. Or you just tell him everything all at once and expect him to figure it out. So why wouldn't it be the same thing with Yahuwah then? Right? Why wouldn't it be the same thing? Praise Yah for mercy. Praise Yah for long suffering. Don't you realize he suffered us to do this? With patience. He took injury with patience till he say, now you know what? Time to stop it. Because those that are mine. See, come over here to Exodus 34. Then get your Isaiah chapter 11. Chapter 9 maybe. I'm finna get ready to let y'all go, man. I appreciate everybody this evening. Like I say, man, you already know. September the 27th, we will redo Tabernacle. Might not be able to feast.
September, huh?
I'm sorry, my apologies. Because that's the day it was on the last time. October 27th. So, you know, sundown 27th, no work. Daytime the 28th, no work. And like this here, till the 3rd. Like this here, I say with
4. 30th, 3rd night, 4th morning.
I know it might seem like it's inconvenient, just like it came up. Okay, we found out, you know, y'all let us find out about the honey. We start discarding and throwing all that stuff away. Then we looking at the stuff that's in the lotions and the hair products. And you know what I'm saying, how they slide and pork and all this stuff. I don't think I mentioned this to everybody at once, because I know those that's in the city, we've been discussing this, but since I got everybody on here, y'all need to sit back. Everything that you purchase that is processed, you need to make sure you do the proper research on every ingredient in there, because these wicked people slide swine and everything. And you know what the crazy part is? Them same hook-nosed people who come up with these calendars usually own the companies that's selling these products. Ain't that something? They usually the people who own the companies that sell these products. And from what we done seen and what we've been looking at, where these people put swine in laundry detergent, dish detergent, hand soap. I was shocked to see these people put gelatin in hand sanitizer. For the purpose of gelatin being in hand sanitizer, I have no idea whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? You need to look out for it when it comes to your bread you buy, because they slide it in the bread. Basically any processed food, period. With me lifting weights, I ain't a big processed food eater anyway. You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, every last one of you should eliminate processed food from your diet anyway. I read something a while back, and that's a true statement. If you cannot pronounce an ingredient in some food, you shouldn't eat it. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that I've seen is if it's more than 5 ingredients in it, you shouldn't eat it. But you gotta sit back and look at, if you looking at something and you be like, man, I can't pronounce this, this is probably not something you want to put in your body. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know Corey real big against it. I've also instructed Corey to start putting information when it pertains to certain foods and herbs and all the things that he privy to in the group. You know what I'm saying? So y'all should keep your eye out for that when he start putting that information in there. Because it's a blessing y'all he brought this man around here. And then, you know, Will can do it too if he wants to, because Will is proficient in this area too. But I know Corey against GMOs greatly. You know what I'm saying? And it's ironic, I was telling y'all the last episode of the Blacklist I looked at, they were talking about the company that do GMOs that basically is Monsanto's in real life, but they just gave it a different name. You might want to be on the lookout for that when it comes to the food you purchase. Corey, you hear me? Corey. All right, let me ask you something, because T was telling me about something that you made mention to Brittany about. Could you tell that what you mentioned to her son her about? Could you tell that for everybody for their listening pleasure, please? I think it was pertaining to going to health food stores. Yeah. He said, uh-huh. He said, just because it's at a health food store, just don't take their word for it. You know what I'm talking about? Still check behind them and check them, just like we know that Whole Foods say they got stuff that's organic, then it turned out the stuff ain't organic. You know what I'm saying? Just basically what it gets down to is don't have that comfort level to think, well, this natural food store or this a natural health store and that this stuff natural. Because at the end of the day, these people number one priority is to make a profit. That it's organic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He said, don't let it be known that if it say organic, that chemicals weren't used because you have United States Agricultural Department or whatever Department of Agriculture certify organic chemicals, and that's what they use to get around that. By saying we'll spray these chemicals on here, but not these. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically said they make the bugs eat the chemical and put the bugs on the plant, and that's how they get around it. Exodus chapter 34. No, 34 ain't what I want. Deuteronomy said, well, Exodus 20 is better. I think what I want. 34 wasn't what I want. Exodus 20 and about verse 5. I'll just make it one. And it says, and Elohim spake all these words, saying, I'm Yahuwah the Elohim, which brought thee out of the land of Mizraim, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other Elohims before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image of any likeness of anything that is in the Shamahim above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah thy Elohim, am a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto the thousands of them that love me and keep my commandment. You sit back and look at it, you see who he said he showed mercy to? But did you notice what he said? The thousands. Which means it's small end, isn't it? That means it's not a lot. You sit back and look at it, because we move to do what the man say do, he could show mercy on us to let us know that we were doing something wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Because his own law say he showed mercy to them, the thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. You know what I'm saying? So you look at a lot of the dudes, or a lot of the groups that they might not get to know nothing or hear nothing. You know why they don't get to know it? Because he don't love them. Because they don't do what he say. Would that be a fair assessment? Romans chapter 9. If we going by what their words say. Romans 9. (24). Romans 9:24. Even us whom he have called, not of the Yahudim only, but also of the Gentiles. Also if he saith in Hosea, I will call them my people which are not my people, and her beloved which was not my beloved, which was not beloved. And it shall come to pass in the place where it was said unto them, you are not my people, they shall be called the sons of the living Elohim. Isaiah also cried concerning Yasharal, though the number of the children of Yasharal be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness, because a short work will Yahuwah make upon the earth. Don't you sit back and you realize, boy, that was a short work what Yahusha did, didn't he? He ain't worked too long, did he? Field is right. Short work. Short work. Y'all we'll come back to that more in depth on another day. But praise and honor and glory be to the Most High Yahuwah by way of Yahushua HaMashiach. Y'all understood this stuff we looked at this evening?